Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
Lakpa Sherpa's colleagues at U.S. supermarket Whole Foods had no idea she had a double life as a serial record breaker. To them, their hard-working colleague, who was born to yak farmers in the Nepalese Himalayas in 1973, was just another mum trying to make ends meet in West Hartford, Connecticut. But Lakpa was harboring a secret. She had a once-in-a-generation skill for mountain climbing and had reached the summit of Mount Everest 10 times, the most of any woman in the world. I didn't want to talk about my life. I didn't want to say, I summit Everest, Lakpa tells usnews.co.uk when asked why she concealed her extraordinary talent. You know, I'm just a normal woman, a normal person working. I'm not educated. I need to do everything I can, washing dishes and cleaning houses. It was a feat she achieved against all odds. When Lakpa was growing up in Nepal, girls were banned from having an education and she did not go to school. She is still illiterate. Her generation of women were paired off in arranged marriages and expected to stay at home, but Lakpa did not want that life. Growing up in the foothills of the Nepalese mountains, she dreamed one day of reaching the summit. I felt stuck, she says in upcoming Netflix documentary, Mountain Queen, The Summits of Lakpa Sherpa, about her inspiring achievements. I was a wild girl. I was a nature girl. By 2000, Lakpa had defied cultural expectations and was working for an Everest expedition tour group. The same year, she became the first Nepali woman to climb to the top and survive. Not long after, in Kathmandu, she met fellow climber George Dijmarescu, a Romanian construction worker based in the U.S., who she went on to marry. They climbed Everest together 5 times between 2001 and 2006. After moving to Dijmarescu's home in Connecticut, they became parents to daughters, Sunny, 22, and Shiny, 17. Lakpa has a son, Nima, born in the 90s, from a previous relationship. However, Dijmarescu became violent and abusive toward Lakpa. In the documentary, she recalls him punching her so hard while at an Everest base camp she was knocked unconscious. Journalist Michael Kodas, who was writing a piece for the local paper on the climb, witnessed the horrific attack and said he heard Dijmarescu drag his wife and say, "Get this garbage out of here." Lakpa says she wanted to die after being knocked out. She recalls floating above her mother's house and traveling to the afterlife while she was unconscious but pulled back to return to Earth for her children. The domestic violence did not stop at home. Sunny and Shiny both remember their dad grabbing their mum's hair and smashing her head on the table when they were both children. "I'm scared all the time, he is my monster," Lakpa recalls, recognizing that her life was in danger. "He did so wrong in my life. That's it, one day he will kill me." After another beating, she moved to a women's shelter with Sunny and Shiny and began rebuilding her life and started work at Whole Foods and as a house cleaner. Dijmarescu and Lakpa later divorced and he died of cancer in 2020. Now, she says she still has love for him in my heart, that will never go away, as he is her children's father. I never dwell on the negatives, I focus on the positives. I never share my negative things with people. Even when very, very bad things happen, I still smile, she tells us. Throughout all of her trauma and adversity, Lakpa has continued to climb, describing nature as her healer. Climbing Everest is not easy, it's very difficult, very life-threatening, she explains. But I trust them, I trust the mountain. I love that mountain. It heals me. I work hard here in the United States and it's the mountains that make me cool down. But does she ever feel fear? Sometimes I feel like, any step I can die, I'm thinking about it. It's a very scary moment hiking, she admits, but the payoff is worth it. Lakpa says at the top of Everest she feels power. I never been in school, so I feel like I finished my master degree in the mountains. Mountains are my puzzle, mountains are my book, I'm in long-term mountain high school. At the top, I feel so great, because my body looks like an athlete's, she says. For Lakpa, climbing Mount Everest for the 10th time aged 48 in 2022 was more than breaking her own record and reconnecting with her first true love. She reached the summit with the ambition